particular ideological shape that would have been alien to those living in the ancient or medieval world. Modern politics around the world has been characterized as a contest between the left and the right. The simple demarcation of left and right has traditionally said a lot about where someone stands, whether in Brazil, the United States, Germany, or India. On the left, a stronger state with more economic regulation and redistribution. On the right, a freer market with less government intervention. This left-right divide has long dominated the political landscape of the world, defining elections, public debates, and policies, even provoking violence and revolution. But these days, this fundamental ideological division has broken down. Consider Donald Trump and his run for the presidency in 2016. Trump was a departure from the past in so many ways: his bizarre personality, his ignorance of public policy, and his flouting of democratic norms. But perhaps the most significant sense in which Trump was different was ideological. For decades, the Republican Party had espoused a set of ideas that could be described as the Reagan formula. Ronald Reagan became an extraordinarily popular Republican by advocating limited government, low taxes, cuts to government spending, a muscular military, and the promotion of democracy abroad. He also ran on a platform that was socially conservative, in favor of banning abortion, for instance, but he often downplayed these parts of the program, particularly once in office. To his many fans, Reagan was a sunny, optimistic figure who celebrated America's free markets, openness to trade, and generous immigration policies, and wanted to spread its democratic model to the rest of the world. Trump argued against most elements of the Reagan formula. While he did advocate some of the same policies, low taxes and limits on abortions, he devoted the vast majority of his time and energy to a very different agenda. Trump's hour-long campaign speeches could be boiled down to 4 lines. The Chinese are taking away your factories. The Mexicans are taking away your jobs. The Muslims are trying to kill you. I will beat them all up and make America great again. It was a message of nationalism, chauvinism, protectionism, and isolationism. Trump broke with many core elements of Republican economic orthodoxy, promising never to cut entitlements like Social Security and Medicare, which reversed decades of Republican fiscal conservatism. He denounced George W. Bush's military interventions in Afghanistan and Iraq, and condemned his geopolitical project of spreading democracy. In fact, Trump savaged nearly every Republican standard-bearer in recent memory, and all the party's living presidents and almost all the living nominees rejected him. And while genuflecting before the Reagan myth, Trump could not have been more different. An angry, pessimistic figure who warned that America was doomed and promised a return to a mythic past. Trump is not alone as a man of the right in breaking with traditional right-wing ideology. In fact, he's part of a global trend. In Britain, the Conservative Party under Boris Johnson openly embraced a policy of big spending. He and other advocates of Brexit ignored conservative economists who insisted the United Kingdom would suffer from losing free trade with the European Union. Hungary's populist leader, Viktor Orban, freely mixes big government programs with attacks on immigrants and minorities. Italy's right-wing leader, Giorgia Meloni, denounces consumerism and market capitalism while building a new nationalist movement based on identity, ethnic, religious, and cultural. Outside Europe, Narendra Modi in India has promoted economic growth and reform, but he and his party have also zealously pursued an agenda of Hindu nationalism at the expense of Muslims, Christians, and other minorities. In Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro's right-wing party described its project as returning the country to its Christian past, from which it had been led astray by cosmopolitans, leftists, and minorities. Left-wing movements have also cropped up that share with their right-wing counterparts a scorn for the establishment and a desire to take down the existing order. Figures like Bernie Sanders in the US and Jeremy Corbyn in the UK have failed to gain power, but left-wing populists have won control.